All right. What is going on, everybody? We are back for another video, another rant, another long complaining session, essentially. Not really though, but we're kind of going to analyze Francis Ngannou's career right now. He's made some very questionable decisions, and there's unfortunately now some dirt coming up about him, especially from Dana White. But it's not really looking good for Francis here. He's coming off those two big boxing fights against Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, and I'm sure he got paid very well for those fights. The issue is that money got lost, and the problem is that can he even fight in boxing again? Sure, maybe they could probably get like a Deontay Wilder matchup or something like that. But he just seems like in a limbo right now where he's not fighting, he's not really promoting anything, he's kind of just, existing and not doing what he's supposed to do as a, fighter, which is fight. He's fought last year against Renan Ferreira. We're about to get to 2 years now. It's almost 2026, so it'll be 2 years since Francis has lost fight. Against Renan Ferreira, where he brutally decimated that guy because it's the PFL. Duh. He's gonna decimate him. Me personally, and it's a little selfish, maybe, because I am glad Francis made money, but at the same time, his legacy would be so much bigger if he was in the UFC and he fucking knocked out Jon Jones, which is a huge possibility he could have done. He really could have knocked out Jon Jones. Or even Tom Aspinall. Imagine he knocked out Tom Aspinall. He'd get a lot more hype and a lot more praise. He missed out. He missed out big time. And I think he would have gotten paid a lot better in the UFC. Maybe not better, but a little bit more fairly as far as what he's actually bringing in. You know what I mean? But anyways,
Francis Ngannou is a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He plays the whole, I don't understand the language, and he tries to come off like he's a fucking nice guy,
So, yeah, that's one of the things, too, that I also kind of get the vibe from Francis, and I get from a lot of other people who don't speak English very well, or English is their second language. They kind of have an excuse, unfortunately, to be like, don't understand, I'm not doing, I don't know, man, I don't get English. They get it, they understand. It's just a way of playing ignorant so they can kind of surpass things and, not to do things other people do and whatever. That's for another time. But anyways, let's continue on with this.
What I mean? And people go, it's the language barrier probably. No, there's no fucking language barrier with this guy. He's a bad guy. I wanted to cut him early.
So, right out the bat, he was, coming out hard, swinging on Francis. He's a bad guy. Not just bad businessman, bad negotiator. He's a bad guy. He's a bad human being, which, I think there is a misconception sometimes in the world that there are good people and there are bad people. I think objectively, everyone is a little bit gray. Sometimes we're a little bit of a lighter gray. Sometimes we're a little bit of a darker gray. But we're all not perfect, not good, not bad. We really ought to all take into consideration that we are all guilty of doing terrible things, thinking terrible things, saying terrible things. And our best thing we can do is just try to strive and be objectively good and have good morals and all the stuff like that. But for the most part, he's going in hard on Francis here.
When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. So he's going in to fight Stipe Miocic in Boston. He knows he's gonna fucking kill Stipe. So after the press conference, we're walking down this hallway and he comes over to me and he grabs me. And he says, let me tell you what's gonna happen.
Let me tell you what's going to happen.
His English is fucking great, okay? No language barrier whatsoever. When this fight's over, they're gonna book me a private plane to Paris.
This fight is over, you are going to book me private plane to Paris. It's my Francis Ngannou impression. Pretty good, not too terrible. At least in my opinion.
And I said, I laughed. So yeah, he goes, I'm not joking. You're going to book me a private plane. Okay. So we go our own ways. Stipe Miocic beats the fucking shit out of him. So that ended.
That definitely made Dana White like Stipe, for the most part. But Stipe probably just like Dana White, or really respect him. But yeah. Anyways,
that whole conversation. I should have fucking cut him that day. When you're an athlete that's signed by the UFC, you get full access to the Performance Institute, and you can eat there for free. Everything's.
This is true. Like, there were a lot of videos and a lot of things showing that Francis Ngannou was chilling at that UFC PI, getting the most out of it. Using it for all the shit. I mean, yes, I think fighters should be able to use the PI to get all the shit they need, but his was like, I am going to use this and I don't care. Like, it's free to him, and he could definitely afford his own shit, but it was a little bit like, all right, Francis, you're here every day of the week,
It's free and do all this stuff. This guy was fucking living there, right? And he had just fought, and he comes up to my office. I said, come on, what's going on? And he was pissed off that he didn't get a $50,000 bonus. Francis, you didn't get it because this, that. And he's in my office and he's arguing with me. The conversation's over. I'm starting to leave, and he grabs me by my shirt.
Fuck. No. Bro, imagine how big his, like, fucking fingers are, just, like, grabbing the back of your neck and just, like, your back up. I would literally piss and shit myself. Yes, Francis, what do you need? Dude, what can I do for you?
And like pushes me back in my office, and I said, dude, get your fucking hands off me.
Those were the words that came out of you when Francis Ngannou grabbed you by the shirt?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, it
I would have been like, I hated this shirt. It's snuggled me, this shirt.
But it's no, I could see in this guy's face and in his eyes and in the way he's acting who this guy really fucking is, Then my guy Hunter, they were talking.
So, yeah, I mean, actually, the timing on this is pretty good because, if he would have came out with this a little bit earlier into Francis's leaving and stuff, it wouldn't have been the best look for Dana White and a little bit harder to believe, but, oh my God, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I don't. I hate that. Fuck me. Ugh. Anyways, yeah. Oh my God, I'm dying. Anyways, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Let's watch.
Talking about something. It might even have been the same thing. And when Hunter started to walk away, Francis grabbed him by the fucking back of his collar and fucking pulled him back. Said, we're not done talking yet. So this guy's not a good fucking guy. He's a bad guy. Now he's over and he's done a deal with PFL in Saudi Arabia. And now he's asking to fight, me and John Jones need to fight, and fucking, I'm sure they wish they never fucking signed him. Because I know. I've dealt with him. I know who he really is. And yeah.
So, I mean, it's a weird situation where on one hand, I like Francis. I like, all the nice things that he kind of presents himself as, but there's a little bit of that darker side to him, which I gotta be honest, I kind of believe Dana White here on this when he's talking about some of these things. Because, I mean, Francis totally could use his, his height, his body and stuff like that, and to intimidate other people into getting what he wants. It doesn't sound that far-fetched, honestly. And, unfortunately, for a lot of fans, for me, I've only seen Francis Ngannou through a computer screen or phone screen. I've never seen him in person. I've never interacted with him, so I can't attest to this exactly, but I'm kind of believing Dana White here on this because it kind of explains why negotiations were so sour in the first place. Francis is definitely popular and he's definitely a draw to a certain extent, but I don't think he was as big of a draw as he thought he was, and I don't think, I mean, yes, fighters deserve lots of money and stuff like that, but the Francis Ngannou Ciryl Gane fight fucking did shit numbers, and they barely tried to promote that. Those fucking two. Like, dude, it was not good on Francis's end. And he could be so much of a bigger star if he fought and Joe sort of fought Thomas. Fighting Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua was very popular, but the problem is that he didn't win any of those fights. If he beat Tyson Fury, we'd be having a different conversation right now, I think. But because he lost to Tyson Fury, despite me thinking, even though he lost on the scorecards and to the judges, I think he won the fight, but he still lost. And same thing with Anthony Joshua. It was even worse. I can imagine Dana White was probably cheering when AJ knocked out Francis. But yeah, Kamaru Usman, who is a good friend of...
But I don't think this happened like this. I don't think there's...
You're gonna call Dana White a liar, Kamaru?
Did I say that? No, absolutely not. All I'm saying is...
Kamaru's got to watch his tongue. Because he realized he's still in the UFC. He still has to deal with Dana and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean... This guy, fuck it. I don't take your sides, but I generally don't think Dana is... Oh, he said, I don't think Dana White is lying. Okay.
Encounters with him, and this guy's ego just was... He had a pretty quick rise here, and obviously the fight over Alistair Overeem, catapulted him. I thought he was going to be the next guy. I think his ego ran away with him big time.
Well, the thing too, Dana was hella fucking promoting his ass. His punch is as strong as a car coming at you at 60 miles per hour. I forget what car it was he talked about, but yeah, he was talking about how hard he punches and shit like that. While Stipe was right there at the press conference, like absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's something that's got to be mentioned too. He did kind of kill a girl on a motorcycle, and I know it probably wasn't on purpose. It was definitely an accident, but it's like, yeah, you can't deny that he did unironically kill a woman on a motorbike, and kind of just, I'm not saying he got away with it, but like, really wasn't any consequences to that, to be honest. Like, what did I have here? Oh, I don't know why I had that right there. Anyways, what are these ads? Get the hell out of here. This is something else I wanted to talk about as well, is that Don Davis, who is no longer the CEO of PFL, he's stepped down. There's another dude who's in there right now. I think I remember talking about this in my PFL video. Yeah, in 2023, so we are past 2 years now. We're going to get down to 3 years Francis hasn't fought MMA. Much for as Nagano has only found like, yep. But weeks ago, when the time finally came for PFL Africa, the Predator was nowhere to be found. He said Francis Ngannou wasn't okay with PFL's Africa's undercard quality, which is like, what? You need to be promoting those guys on the undercard, even if they suck. You need to be like, these guys are awesome. They are the next future of Africa. They will only get better. And yeah, you had like, he wasn't pleased with the quality of the card. I wasn't very okay with the first PFL Africa fit, seeming to be like an undercard. Like, if you want to know what's exactly is the reason why I wasn't. Yeah. Division cut. Yeah, I mean, he really is doing nothing for the PFL, unfortunately, except he took hella money from them and fucking run off with it a little bit. This is another thing that's also upsetting, is that he has the opportunity to become a hero again the MMA fans and shit like that by fighting Jake Paul and brutally knocking him out. And she takes that as a sign of disrespect. Anthony Joshua does it. He's the one that fucking knocked your ass out. He sees this as a big payday, which is like, that's what it is. It's a big ass payday, Francis, you idiot.
Yeah. Then what exactly can I do for you? He was like, yeah, can I, like, can you, like, we think about you to fight Jake? I'm like, what? So we think about you to fight Jake to replace Javante. I'm like, who's Jake? You know, like, I was so confused, you know, like, I wasn't expecting that at all. And he said, yeah, Jake Paul, you know, he's fighting. And I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't, I mean, don't disrespect me like that. He said, yeah.
But it's not really like, I mean, if I'm sorry, if you're going to be in the fighting business, Francis, they're going to
replacement, but I still haven't.
Who are smaller than you, maybe think that they can probably beat you up. And Jake Paul's one of those guys. And sure, yeah, it's disrespectful, but you know what also is? Sorry, I had dust up here. I had to wipe it off. You know what also is? It's also a big payday. It's also money in your pocket. It's also helping out at, like, Africa, your homeland, and stuff like that. Money means you can help out your homeland and fucking do all the things you want to do. You would get paid probably the biggest payday in your career if you fought Jake Paul on Netflix. Like, are you kidding me? And you can do a whole big fuck UFC thing with Jake Paul. Jake Paul would totally be on board with, you know, doing shit like that. And it's easy because you guys both are in the PFL. Like, boom, shakalaka, easy peasy. Speaking of PFL, Jake Paul has not fought in the PFL yet, and I don't think he ever will. Most likely, to be completely honest. But yeah. Oh, 526. I feel like I've made my point. Francis, you need to make some better career decisions right now. You should have taken the Jake Paul fight. I really think it have benefited you. Got your name out there, because now, I mean, fighting Deontay Wilder after he's been knocked out, sure, it would be a big fight, get a little bit of publicity, but it's not as big as Jake Paul, to be completely honest. As crazy as that sounds, Deontay Wilder fight is not as big as a Jake Paul fight. What has boxing become? Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Just to also address my last video, again, for the Dagestani fan base and stuff. I don't hate Islam or any ethnicity or anything like that. MMA Guru may make some mean, cruel, very vicious jokes and stuff like that, but like I said, you gotta shoulder roll it off, buddy. You gotta roll with the punches. You know, I've been, you know, joked about Irish people and gingers being inbred and stuff like that, white people being awful, all the things like that. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my life. All right, I'm gonna go about my day, big smile on my face, and eat a big sandwich and smoke weed and do whatever I want, man. Like, I'm sorry, words don't affect me like that. For other people, they really do. And I'm sorry, I really wish it didn't. I feel like even if someone was to get, like, really personal with me and insult me, like, really do a deep dive on me and, like, get very personal and say terrible things about me, like, whatever, like, it just doesn't really affect me unless you're physically coming after me, trying to assault me and stuff. Like, it just doesn't matter. And I think that side of the fan base just needs to take a chill pill a little bit. All right. They definitely are not equal to each other as far as it goes with the insults and the threatening and stuff like that. Look, you got the Conor fans, fucking Nate Diaz fans, you know, you insult their guy or whatever, it's like, yeah, shut up, pussy, I'll slap you. You won't see that around me and stuff like that. But with them, it's like, hey, oh, is this one of your cousins that goes to this school? It's shit like that. It's like weird threatening messaging stuff. And then not only do they message you, but they message your family members and try to, you know, contact everyone you've ever been associated with. And it's like, it's a real Karen pussy type shit. So yeah, anyways, that's the whole video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Lego.